When do you think the most common time it is for somebody to commit suicide? Do you think it's when winter strikes, when summer hits, when it's around the holidays? Well, the least day is actually Christmas Day. That's the lowest. And the highest is New Year's Day. Um, I wrote a whole bunch of notes down and it's a total mess, so I gotta try to go through it. I start with an idea and put it here, and then I come up with something else and put it here. So I'll just give you what the heck. Um, the statistics are 49,000 people committed suicide in 2022. And men are 3 to 5 times more likely to commit suicide than women. And men who are 45 and over are more likely to commit suicide. I read that on one place it said men 75 and over are more likely, and then I read another place that it was 85. So it depends upon, I didn't really look at the year that it was published, but I didn't know that people that old committed suicide that much. I always thought it was younger people, but the um, the place that in the United States that people commit suicide the most is Las Vegas. Um, the what is it? Something Sin, City of Sin. Is that right? Sin City. That's right. And they do it. They have the highest rate. Um, the most people who commit suicide have borderline personality, anorexia, depression, or bipolar. Those are the highest risk people. Um, so, in order to try and combat it, is for them, of course, to get help. And I had to laugh at this one, and not like it's funny, but they said that watch for signs. Look, signs to look out for on somebody who could be suicidal. And that's totally false. In most cases, there are no signs. People who give signs are people looking for help. Otherwise, there's no signs, or very few. Nothing that would really, point out, I'm going to go do this tomorrow. And one place I read said that the most common time for somebody to commit suicide is around 11 a.m. They just said there's something, I don't have a reason why. I was reading so much and I can only take in so much. But I know that the advice that I know of is try not to let them be too, alone, even though you can't be up somebody's ass 24/7. Try to be with them and try to um, be company to them, and maybe keep them busy. um, I know that's a good idea too, is keep them occupied. Although sadly, and I don't like to say this, because people who may be depressed or have mental illnesses or whatever, you are suicidal, are passive, suicidal, is the simple fact is, if somebody wants to do it, they're going to do it. And that's not just with suicide, that's with anything. If somebody wants to get drunk, they're going to get drunk. If somebody wants to murder somebody, they're going to murder somebody. God forbid. But I'm just saying that if somebody wants to and are hell bent on committing suicide, they're going to. And there isn't anything anybody can do, and there isn't anything anybody can say. If you believe, actually, I'll take that back for a second. If you believe somebody, your family, your friend, whomever, you really believe that they're a harm to themselves or somebody else, and this is in most states, you can do a Chapter 51, and you can have them involuntarily committed. And that means hospitalized against their will until they go, I don't know, I had to go to court and prove that I was mentally stable before I got to get out of the hospital. And I had to stay there over 2.5 weeks. And I'm not trying to scare you, I'm trying to give you information. That's what my channel is all about, education, information. I was on last night, later, I was on live, and nobody showed up. I've been coming on live later at night, and we're trying to say that the reason I would come on later at night was because if somebody is by themselves and everybody else is sleeping, then they can talk and they can tell me. I don't want to say tell me because then I sound like a doctor or a psychiatrist, but they can talk about what's going on and how they're feeling, maybe get a little bit of advice on what to do, things like that. You don't have to go and see a psychiatrist to get help. You can see a therapist. You can see your family doctor if you're comfortable with them. You can talk to your family doctor about how you're feeling, and they can give you advice on what to do, what kind of escalation you need. If they think that a psychiatrist is beneficial and getting you medication. Now, if you get medication, you don't have to take it. If you don't want to, it's something that is totally your choice. All of this is your choice. It's your life. So if you choose to go see a psychiatrist, then go see a psychiatrist. Nobody can make you. If you want to go see a therapist, therapists usually can be sufficient and be able to help you enough that you don't need medication. You don't need a psychiatrist. If you just have a slight case of, I don't want to say the blues, but you just a little depressed, or you're feeling like you're suicidal, but you're not going to do it. There's a lot of different help out there. Here's the helplines, the prevention and awareness lines. That's 988 or 741-741. Like I've said before, I've called 741-741, and there's just somebody there to talk to, and they will advise you, and they can kind of help you decide on what to do. They can't tell you what to do. They can't report you. They can't turn you in. You can give them a false name. You can give them a false everything, and I don't think there's anything they can do, because I've called. Yeah, I've been suicidal. I'm always suicidal. It's, passive suicide. I can never remember the name of it. Ideation. Where suicide is always on your mind. It's ideation. It's passive. And they call it that is because it's always just there, but kind of comes and goes, and you think about it all the time. And I've tried it numerous times. My ex-husband said, if you're going to do it right. He was helpful. He's very supportive. That was sarcasm. I think if it was up to him, he would have did it, but he'd be somebody's bitch in prison. Okay, I'm gonna stop. That's not. yes, I went through a very bad divorce with him, and there's a lot of animosity. And when you think back to somebody saying that to you, somebody's supposed to love you, and they say, if you're gonna do it right. Um, it's not helpful. Sorry, I have to do that. That's what I do. And I believe I said, oh, yeah, that was the misconception of suicide. You're going to be able to tell. I'm going to know if, Aunt Sally is suicidal, and I'm going to be bullshit. That's the biggest load of shit, is that you're going to know. Well, for one, if you know, you better goddamn well get her help. Sorry, I said, because it's ridiculous. These experts who think that they know, but they don't. Why? Because they've never been in those shoes. Sure, they've talked to thousands, maybe thousands of people who have been suicidal, but have them themselves been suicidal? No, probably not. So it's like they give out advice. You might as well ask a 4-year-old. You'd be better off. But I'm saying that, there's that misconception of you're going to be able to tell if somebody is suicidal. Okay, Chester Bennington, one of my favorites. I love Linkin Park. He left his family on vacation and went home because he was supposed to do a commercial. And he went and committed suicide. I saw the video of the day before or the day of. I think it was the day before. Whatever. He was all happy, and he's like me, and goofy, and just, you would never guess. And then there was the concert of the day before, and he's singing, and he's Chester, and they found him, and it's like, I've been watching videos about conspiracy theories, which are always interesting, but he's one that broke my heart. And not because, I'll explain in a second, because he's saying about things I can relate to. Apparently, he didn't really write the music, Mike did. Doesn't matter. He's saying it. Yeah, I told you the depression. The depression is here. Went to bed, I think, at 7 this morning. Ended up getting up at 12:30. I was going to go to bed earlier, and I didn't. I always think I'm going to go to bed, and I find something interesting online. I'm an online-aholic. But, yeah, it's just that, I've written my own obituary, and the last line of it is, I want a clean Kleenex, damn it. There's a line in the end of it, that is from Linkin Park. So, they just sing a lot of things that I'm thinking and that I'm feeling, and that, it hits home really hard. And I take it really hard. But yet, for me, that's therapy. It's supposed to be, anyways. I gotta flip my pillow. I got a great pillow. But, it's just, did you ever hear a song that just you could relate to? Whether it was happy, whether it was sad, no matter what it was, it just hit. You could relate. You know, did you ever have that experience? I have that with a lot of Linkin Park songs because they just hit home. They make sense. I can relate. Not in the way I want to, but either way, I can. Trying to breathe. So, you know, I'd like to know, have you ever had a movie or a song or an experience that has personally touched you and hit you hard that you said, that's me, or I know how that feels? Whether it's good or bad, have you ever experienced that? I'd like to know. If you'd leave your comments, then I would. I'd get a lot more out of this channel if people would leave comments, because then I'd be able to get ideas and know what you want to know about, what your experiences are, how you feel, what you're going through. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to talk to a camera about depression, illnesses, mental illnesses, personal issues that, you know, affect me, that affect a lot of people. But there's the stigma, and it was not funny, haha, but it was funny how when I was reading and doing some of my research, how I read about people not saying anything because of the stigma. And that's so wrong, and I know I've done a video about it. People have to come to the realization that there's something wrong, and that people need support, and they need help, and they can't do it alone. As much as I wish I could do it alone, as much as I don't want to go see that goddamn doctor and that psychiatrist and that, you know, I have no choice, or I'd go off the deep end. Which end? Well, I try to make, you know, funnies to try to cheer myself. Cheer, yeah, like that. Cheer myself up more, I think, than anybody or anything. I think that's why I do it. To hide my real feelings, hide behind laughter. That's what I do. I do it day in and day out. I'm so good at it. I've been doing it for so long. And if that's what it takes for Joe Blow not to ask me what's wrong, we're all good. Don't ask me what's wrong, because I will fall into a million pieces. You don't want to know what's wrong, you know? So, please leave your messages. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Like, because, you know, everybody likes a like. And, you know, it tells me that I can't talk straight half the time, that maybe you think I'm drunk. No. It lets me know that you watched the video, that you liked the video, that you got some information out of it. You know, I need feedback, so I keep moving. I need to keep on. This channel is growing, and I'm so proud. And I mostly do it for me, because I only see my therapist every 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I see my psychiatrist every three weeks. I've been doing this for 39 years. I'm tired of doing things their way. I want to do things my way, because I'm stubborn Aquarius. Blame it on January. No, because that's like that was the one thing that I forgot to mention. The months that people commit suicide the most are in summer. It was May, June, July, August. I believe those were the months. And the day, I believe they said, well, one said New Year's Day, and the other one said 4th of July. So, when you do research, how are you supposed to count on what answers you come up with? You just make shit up as you go, I suppose. No, not really. I do my best, and that's all I can do. I'm not perfect. I'd like to be perfect, but then, people call me names like Karen. I'm just joking. But I hope you have a good night. I will try to get on live later, probably after 10 o'clock, um, between 10 and 3. I mean, you never know if I'm watching TV and I'll fall asleep, or I'll end up doing something. I don't know. But hopefully I'll be on later. I wish I could say when, but unfortunately I can't. You should get a notification. And if you don't, I believe you hit the bell and you hit all, and then you will get notifications. So I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one.